Right, so welcome and hello. My name is Tegan and I'm here to guide you today through our rolling class, Relax and Roll. I'm going to be teaching with the peanut ball, a rad roller tool, but you can definitely have two single balls. Foam roller, not so much for this style of class. Make sure that you move gently and compassionately as we practice. We'll do some softer yoga poses, some breathing exercises, and some rolling. Move at your own pace and into your own version of the shapes. It's important that you do you today. Listen to the quality of your breath, of your thoughts, because all of that plays together as we work out some of these issues in our tissues. So roll out your mat and lie down on your back to start if you're not there yet. You don't even need to change it, but notice the quality of your breath right now. Is it the best version for you today? Start to invite your inhales down a little bit deeper. And press your exhales out a little bit longer. Inviting it in and down right to the pelvic floor. And as you exhale, let that shift up, like through your head space and beyond. Invite in a little more room for light, abundance. And give off whatever is just no longer serving you. Allow that energy to leave your body or your head space, your spirit, never to return or bother you again. Imagine that. Continue to find your own pace and quality of breath as you practice today. So from the back of your body in corpse pose or shavasana, invite just a little bit of movement, like wiggling a finger, a toe. And then maybe starting to roll your wrists, your ankles. Shake your head no. And then slowly bend up your knees until your feet are grounded. Let's walk our feet about mat distance apart today. You can have your hands on your hips, down, maybe behind your head. On your next exhale, let both of the legs twist or fall over towards the right. And then hang out there as long as it's safe for your knees. You might need to place a hand underneath a knee or a block. What's happening in your left hip right now is it's internally rotated. Notice any sensation there or as it travels forwards in the pelvis or even into your low back. We don't get a lot of this style of movement, but we do need to for a healthy range of motion, both externally and other directions. Breathe as you let the legs sway all the way through center and then over to the other side. Now check out from the right hip, the front, the outside, the back, even in towards your low back. Any presence of sensations, good, bad. Take another deep yoga breath. And then slowly come in through center. You can step your feet together and roll yourself over to your right side or maybe the side that's facing the computer screen, as you please. With your top arm or your left arm, start to draw big circles, hand far away from the shoulder joint, but we're moving very slowly and mindfully so that you can truly feel all of the subtle nuances of sensation and as it changes when you move. And switch directions of your circle if you haven't yet. By now, you'll probably have felt where it's holding on to the most tension And were you feeling any tension into the front of the body, like where the chest, front of the shoulder is? If that's pretty tight, often that can lead to tension into our upper back space, and that happens a lot. So we'll do some work onto this area so that we can help the upper back as well. Let's roll gently onto our abdomen next. Stretch your left arm out, or the top arm, the one that you were just rotating around. And we'll try a broken wing stretch. So this one, arm extends maybe straight out from the shoulder, maybe a little bit lower, more like your rib cage, maybe a little bit higher, more like your ear height, but definitely not overhead. As you reach it straight out or lower, it would be more pec major, deltoid. As you reach it a little higher, still the deltoid, which is the front of the shoulder, but you'll get your pec minor, which is like overhead lifting stuff. Place the palm down. We'll look away from the arm and bend your knees. Placing the left side of your face down on the floor and rock your body onto the shoulder and arm gently. You might rock just a little bit and tuck your legs up, or you might rock a lot until one or both feet are on the floor. Notice the quality of your breath as either you hold the pose, or what I love to do is rock in and out with the breath, a little bit of a flow. If you're rocking in and out from the pose, you've got the opportunity to then shift your arm into slightly different angles so that you get a gentle press and stretch into all of those different spaces of the chest and shoulder. I'll demo that now if you wanted to take a look. Either way, stay in one space or play in and out from different. We've got about 30 seconds more of your yoga breath here. Let's pause on that. Come to center. Perhaps you come into Sphinx pose where you prop yourself up onto your elbows, forearms, or maybe it's just palm over palm and your head resting onto the back of your hands. Take a moment to check back in. Setting your intention for your practice, making sure that you stay focused and inspired on why you came to class today. Okay, so we're going to start to roll into our chest, and I'm going to turn on this other camera here. Awesome. Okay. Oh, but you won't be able to see it. I better. Oops, sorry. There, you should be able to see both now. Okay, so we're going to we were just stretching this space here, pectorals, right? Into the deltoid, front of the shoulder as well. So that over time, it helps to release some of the tension and pull into the upper back and neck in this space. So similarly, we're going to get into our roller ball into this space, right underneath of our collarbone. Hopefully I'm not moving this too fast. So here is our clavicle. right underneath of your clavicle bone, your subclavius muscle. It can actually fuse onto the first couple of ribs as we kind of hunch forward and hold our phones so much in the day, or our steering wheel. So we're going to get right underneath of the collarbone with our rad roller or our peanut ball so that there's a pressure point about there and about there. It will be above the breast tissue. And ladies, for sure above the breast tissue. Guys, you could go anywhere within the pectoral, but we're going to stay mostly up there. So yeah, thank you. Okay. So to do that, we're already on our belly. Great. With your rad roller tool, depending on what you've got going on in the front of the body, you might need to use a block and line up your peanut ball on the corner edge and then slide that into the chest space underneath of your collarbone into the same arm that we were just opening and stretching. Whew, now, depending on how strong your tool is that you're using, tennis balls or a lacrosse ball, golf ball, whew, this can be intense. So what are you doing with your neck? Because we want to get rid of tension in this class, not just displace it to somewhere. So as you extend maybe your arm out or just bend it, let your head find some support, maybe with your fist, a secondary prop like a pillow or a block. Start to breathe. No big movement right now. Just yoga breath. Letting your body get used to that pressure. Okay, now if it feels safe, you're not overly tensing or gritting your teeth together, you can start to move the body, maybe like that broken wing stretch, rocking a little more onto the tool and off of the tool, or you can simply move the arm around, the same arm that you've got the roller tool underneath of. Now you could drag it kind of like a snow angel on the ground. You could do the same thing if it's lifted. Because when we do this myofascial stretching or release, you can do it on a relaxed muscle, a flexed muscle, or a stretched muscle. There isn't only one right way. What works for me might not work for you. So you'll know right away if it's a yes or it's a no way today. What if you flipped your hand down and then snow angel drug it up? Whew. Breathing in, long breath out. Right, just like the beginning of class. Invite that inhale all the way down to the pelvic floor. And then let it go all the way out, soften. Imagine you've just won the lottery and you reach your arms up into the sky and then go, yes, make a fist and then pull the elbow back down towards the ribs. Inhale, extension up through the arm over the head. Exhale, make a fist, pull down, yes. Breathing out, try it again. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pull, flex down. Exhale. Hold it at the base of the exhale. Elbow into the body, breathe in. And then drop the arm, breathe out. Maybe you wiggle a little side to side, or even move the tool to a slightly new space. You can move it up, down, side to side. Where are you holding your tension in your body without me touching your shoulder? I'm not able to tell, but you'll be able to tell, you'll feel. Always an appropriate degree of sensation, not too much. More pain does not equal more gain in this style of therapy for the body. Finding any movement now intuitively that you feel you need to just massage out any tension that may be in your body space there. Let's try our broken wing stretch again now without the tool. Now that we've massaged the space, let's see if it's opened up any more range of motion. Broken wing, arm extends away, the same arm as before, and the same side that we were massaging. Looking away from that space and rocking onto the arm. Try a couple different angles of your arm and shoulder just to check. Ooh, mine feels better. I hope yours does. And then slowly press yourself up, finding a tabletop position, just to open your knees out wide, toes together. Press your hips back and down to your feet. Maybe bend your elbows palm over palm and rest your forehead down to the back of your hands. Widening child's pose is a great space to look within. A little length through the low back and inner thighs as well. But because we're massaging out tension in the body, often tension deposits, not just from the physical things that we do in our life, right? That mental or emotional strain that inevitably comes sometimes can deposit in the body. Can you have so much compassion for yourself in this now moment? And start to use your exhales to release that which no longer serves you. It's like a mental or emotional rolling. Press it out. Goodbye. Walk the body all the way up. Now you might like to sit on your shins or your bottom, depending on how your knees are, but just roll both of your shoulders in any comfortable space, whatever that is for you, and just notice. Maybe you move all of the arms. How does it feel different from side to side, regardless if you have like a strong side, a weak side, a tight side, an open side? Does one side feel better? Probably. Take water at any point in our practice if you're thirsty. Hydration is another way to open up and feel looser. But when you're ready, flip to the other side of your body, depending on how your yoga mat is. We're just going to lie down on the side. And then it'll be the other side of the body that we explore now. Letting the arm reach in a big circular motion. Ooh. Away from the shoulder space. A lot of our responsibility, tension tends to land here. Don't start thinking about all of your to-do list and responsibility. Oh, yeah. Just breathe and notice. Make sure you've taken both directions with that circle. And then roll onto your belly. Extend the arm that you were just circling away from the shoulder, kind of like the wing of an airplane. Look away from that arm, head down and relax. Bend up both of your knees and breathe. Use your left hand or your opposite arm to press the body over onto your extended arm, keeping your shoulder grounded. Now, maybe you just rock into one space and hang out there for a couple minutes. Or, as mentioned on the other side, you can rock in and out, matching maybe the rhythm of your breath. Inhale, press. Exhale, release into different shoulder spaces. Have your teeth started to press together? Even the simple act of the tongue pressing or sucking to the roof of the mouth and the teeth together brings your nervous system and your body back into stress response. That'll change even right down to the hormones that are released through your endocrine system and hold on to more tension or produce chemicals that keep the body in this tight space. We want those healing hormones and energy to pass through. So jaw, relax. Breath, deep but calm. Take another 3 to 5 breaths, either staying or playing. Ooh, so good. Or not, maybe. Grab your tool and now feel for where the collarbone is, the clavicle, and go right underneath of that space. So you're never rolling on the bone. You want to get into the tissue. Maybe you're just on the ground, or if you've got a yoga block, it might feel nice to use that. And then line up the tool on the block, probably into the corner of the space. Now, I said don't roll over the bone, but your ribs are there, right? So be mindful. If it's super painful, you might just be right over top of one of the ribs. If you shift the tool a little bit, can you get more into the in-between space? That's called your intercostal muscle space. I don't want you to add tension in the back of your neck, so can you support your head in some fashion? We're just beginning, so if you're moving already, back off, slow down. We can't rush this healing process. Let your body get used to this pressure, this sensation, and soften your physical body and your headspace. Focus more on the quality of your breath, expanding. Good job. And now, if you are feeling okay enough to move the arm or move your body, go ahead and do so. You might sway side to side, letting this tool kind of grab the skin and shift. That would be maybe shearing, depending on which muscles you're working through, because there's a whole bunch here across the muscle fiber grain and some along with it. Probably we're not rolling so much up and down. You could be rocking, almost like you're kneading some dough, or like a kitty needs a blanket. That's what I think of. Rocking in and out. Are you coming into your broken wing stretch and backing off of the tool? And in and off. Or maybe your snow angel moving through the arm. Soften your mouth, your whole face. Breathe deep and enjoy whatever movement or stillness that you've chosen for about 1 more minute. Just like the other side. Win the lottery. Reach that arm up overhead. Inhale. It's lifted off the ground if you can. Exhale, make a fist squeeze and pull the elbow back to the ribs. Arm is lifted. Inhale, try that again. Extend, reach through your fingernails. And exhale, squeeze and pull back. So this is working into a flex. Inhale, extend. And exhale, pull back. Hold the arm in the same space and relax your neck and keep breathing. And then relax. You can remove your tool, block, try your broken wing stretch. See if there's been any change in your flexibility or range of motion. It's pretty awesome how we can do that and increase it right away. Not a lot of other styles of yoga practice that you can get flexible in just one time. You can slowly press up and find either a child's pose or a comfortable seat. Do you need some stillness right now? Honor that. Do you prefer movement? Honor that. Just breathe. Eventually, I'd like for you to come all the way up to stand. We're going to roll out through the bottom of our feet, and then we'll come back down onto the ground. So you can place your peanut ball or double balls sideways so that as you place your, say, right foot over top of it, you've got a ball, they're going this way onto the feet. Yeah, widthwise. Gentle pressure, especially in the arch of the foot as you explore. We start always gentle, just like any yoga pose. It's going to take a couple of really deep breaths to find your fullest expression or stretch of the shape. So until we find our fullest expression of the massage or the pressure, we warm that space up gently and very slowly so that you can really pay attention to where exactly, like a pinpoint or the tip of your pinky finger on the foot is giving you feedback. Continue to roll and breathe here. Now, the bottom of your feet also stem to all sorts of different spaces in your body. Let's talk about that. So in reflexology, the foot is divided underneath of the toes, the ball of the foot, above the heel. So from the toes upwards, mapping into the body is from your shoulders upwards. Like your big toe, you can massage or find pressure there if you've got tension headaches. The very tips of your toes relate to your sinuses and your ears. And as you travel down, right underneath the ball of the foot where the arch is starting, this is your diaphragm line, right? So underneath the rib cage. If you're used to taking short, shallow breaths, you've been stressed, or you do really strong workouts, run, CrossFit, whatever, you might find that there's some tension there. So massage it. Lower down into the arch of your foot would map into all of your internal organs like your stomach, your intestines. So as you massage, as you're standing into this part of the foot, notice, is there any feedback? I love pizza. I love pizza, but my body doesn't love pizza. So when I eat pizza the next day, there's always sore spaces into the arch. Let's keep going. So now from above your heel and down, this would be your hip line and down. Notice if you're looking down at your foot. Try your best to keep posture up because we just opened the chest spaces to help our upper back. Keep breathing and rolling. And now you might rock the foot more to the outer edge if your balls are together with a bag or maybe tape. Hoo-hoo-hoo. So as you rock to the outer edge of the foot, this maps in reflexology to the outer line of your body. Higher up on the foot, higher up on your body. So closer to the toes, ball of the foot, is that tight? Is that same side of the body tight in your shoulder space? Rolling down, ooh, a little more to the outside. Middle would be like obliques. As you get towards the heel, it's going to be outside of your hip, like your TFL, maybe your gluteus medius. That comes up pretty high. Your IT band, ooh. Also sciatic, if you've got any sciatic, SI, instability or sensitivity, you can roll through the outer edge of the heel or even squeeze the heel all the way to almost where the arch of the foot is. Flip so that now it's your big toe down and your pinky toe up as you start to massage the inner line of the foot. Inside of the foot will map to the inner line of the body, like your spine. Higher up on the foot, higher up in the spine. Lower down on the foot, lower down in the spine. Below the ball of the foot on this inner archway and about maybe 1 inch down, everybody's feet are a little bit different, same with your body length. And if you're finding any tension there, this is maybe your adrenal glands. Have you been go, go, go or stressed lately? Massaging this space, especially if you're finding some tension, might help to rebalance and allow your chi or your internal energy to flow a little bit better. So maybe we're not so stressed. Maybe. Everything is intentional, everything. So as you're rolling, what's happening in your internal dialogue? Because you can do the physical stuff, but if you stay stuck in a mentality that doesn't serve you anymore, it redeposits or does not change. So breathe and be kind to yourself. Roll anywhere on your foot that you liked or that you needed. Maybe even hang out on one space. Okay, get off of your tool. Take a couple marches or steps away. Notice if there's any difference from one foot to the other. Usually, most of my students be like, oh, wow. Does it feel like your foot is maybe spread out a little bit? Even roll through the ankle. Roll through your other ankle. Oh. Don't worry, we're going to do the other side. I just want you to notice the difference. This can also help in your balancing. I teach dance too. So my competitive dancers, before we go on stage, I get them to roll their feet so that they're grounded because we're always a little nervous right before you compete, thinking about all the stuff we're supposed to remember. But really, we need to be grounded. And so does everybody within life, right? Without the grounding, we're too airy and get anxiety. Let's flip, switch feet. Start with a very slow, mindful scan, kind of like the photocopier. Check your posture and any unnecessary tension, like your jaw, your forehead, your shoulders. Today, after class, it'll be important to continue to drink a lot of water. We want to continue to flush out any lactic acid or maybe toxins that we're pressing out of the muscle tissue. Or it will redeposit and it will be either the same or even more sore. If you find a space that feels like a muscle knot, there's tension, or maybe it feels crunchy, spend some love or time on that area, but in a gentle capacity, right? Breathing. And over a few breaths, if you're focusing on one spot, then the pressure can deepen. Too much, too fast, no good. A soft, gentle approach, long-lasting benefits and results. So now that you know the mapping of the foot, you can kind of give yourself some feedback. Like maybe you're like, I know my left shoulder's always tight. And you can find that same space into the outer side of the left foot, higher up. But maybe you weren't really aware of those internal organs that we talked about into the arch. Is there any feedback there? What did you eat yesterday? I'm not here to tell you what to eat and what not to eat. And every body is different. But if it's giving you feedback, maybe catch it before it becomes energy that's stuck or stagnant. Because once we know better, we can do better. Keep breathing. Try the outside of the foot if you haven't done so yet. And check your posture. Take my own advice. I look down at my foot too. Oops. Let's flip now to the inner edge of the foot. However you get there, right? Sometimes I like to step away a little bit out and bend the knee. Appropriate degree of sensation. What is that for you today? Jaw releases. Breathing in and down to the belly, then the ribs, and then fill the chest. And as you exhale, chest goes first, and then the ribs, and then the belly. Now play anywhere on the foot that you feel needs some attention. Beyond a reflexology point, you've also got fascia lines that run through the body that kind of house everything together. Fascia is your connective tissue. So they all start from the foot and then run up and around the back, front, the side, spiraling. So not just reflexology, but this should help every line within the body as well too. If you could roll only one space, like you have 5 minutes in your day to commit to it, I would suggest the feet. Roll out for up to another 5 breaths into any space of the foot that needed some attention. And be mindful of your dialogue as you do so. You can take a couple steps away, noticing how the foot feels, and then take some water and sit down. This next move is called the doorknob. So if you hold your peanut ball, one hand around the sphere, it's kind of like a doorknob, right? So keeping one hand on the tool, you can now move it around into different spaces. We're going to get into the upper back, anywhere from like the very top all the way down to probably the base of where your shoulder blade or your scapular bone is. You got lots of muscles here. Your trapezius, your spiny erectors that go up and down. So you can use the same arm like so, moving your doorknob around, or you can use the opposite arm to reach and pull. Which one depends on which feels better for you. We're going to rock onto the tool and off of the tool. Let me demo what that looks like. If you've got longer hair, move it out of the way. Lie down with either the same arm or reaching across. Place the tool into somewhere to the side of the spine towards the outside of the body. We're doing both sides, so you decide what you start with. Rock onto the tool and breathe. And then rock off of the tool and then move it to a slightly new space. Ooh, rock onto the tool. Breathe. And off of the tool. Now, it doesn't have to be only 1/2 breath that you're on the tool. You can come in and out as you please. I wouldn't hold the same space for more than 2 minutes. You don't want to desensitize that feedback loop of where your nerves are telling the brain, yes, no, stop. So if it's a constant pressure, it'll kind of stop reporting. But we want to keep that reporting, because when it stops reporting, you might press too deep. No injuries today. And then secondly, you've got so many muscles there. So keep moving around so that you can open up more space all over. Your fascia is kind of like a spider web, and it extends all the way out, all around and throughout. So by moving your tool around as you breathe and rock or shift around on the tool, you're just going to open up more space for a longer period of time. Notice if your forehead is scrunched up right now, squished face like a raisin. Relax it. Now let your peanut ball go up and down long, like your yoga mat, like your spine, and place it just to the side of your spine, kind of, let's go in between our shoulder blade and the spine, that space. So not so much doorknob anymore. It's a little bit lower down. Whew. More body weight onto the tool, more intensity. So if it's too much, you're stopped breathing deep, back off a little bit. With that same side of the body that the ball is on, reach your arm up over your head and breathe in. And then bring it back down by your hips. Exhale. Inhale up and over. Exhale down. This time, just up straight to the roof. Breathe in. Now, across the center line of your body towards the opposite side. Breathing out. Inhale, back straight up over your face or your shoulder. And exhale across. You can bend the elbow. Now hold your opposite shoulder. Relax. And now shimmy gently or shake, shifting your body up and down over the space. Do you need to back off, less body weight? Do you need to get right on top of it? Check your breath because it's going to tell you. Move the tool back up so that one ball is out of the body. It's back into that doorknob space where you could grab it if you wanted. Only one ball underneath of us. Okay, let's see if we can bring our arm all the way up and back like you were going to press up into a wheel or a bridge pose. Now, if your hand doesn't ground, don't worry about it. That's fine. Just work to bring the arm into that movement. Breathe. And exhale back down. Flexion through your wrist. Inhale all the way up till your fingers or the back of the hand is down. And exhale down. Now lift it up, finding a space for it. Maybe even lift your hips up. That's going to be really intense. So did you grit your teeth together or stop breathing? That means back off. No hip lift today. Find your breath. Try not to move your neck around too much, straining to the computer screen right now. Just focus on the movement that you're doing. Visualize tension unraveling or leaving the body. Nice work. Take the tool out and let's find just a star or a Shavasana pose before we do the other side. Let your body truly relax and release. Taking a deep breath in through your nose and an audible sigh or om through the mouth. And then breathe however you like and just check in mentally and emotionally. When you're ready to start to do the other side, let's do just that. Grab your tool like a doorknob to do the other side of the body, from the side of the spine towards the shoulder or the outside of the ribs. You might use the same arm as the side of the body that you're working on, or it might feel better to use the opposite arm and reach it across. One is not better than the other, so what's easiest for you, do that one. At first, gentle, because we got really deep into the other side, but remember that we built up that momentum. Exploring that doorknob space into different mapping points around that whole area, from one side of the spine towards the outside of the body, maybe as high up as the top of your shoulder, maybe as low down as your shoulder blade tip. Notice if there's any clunk happening. Might be a knot, or it might just be, muscle fibers, tendons, or ligaments that are crossing over one another. Because that shoulder joint is pretty mobile, right? It moves in all sorts of different directions. So that means there's all sorts of different muscles and tissues that kind of house it there. As I get that question lots in classes, oh, I feel a clunk. It's not always a bad thing. Check your tongue, roof of the mouth, teeth, gums, jaw. Inviting softness into this space over time softens your nervous system and it helps to relax your shoulders and your hips. One long exhale at a time. Our internal dialogue absolutely deposits in the body. So you've heard of muscle memory. Well, your tissues, all of your tissues have memory. They say even water molecules have memory sitting in a jet glass jar. So as you're finding these tense spaces and massaging them out, great, you're doing the physical work. If you're wanting to deepen your practice or results, possibly, if you feel safe to do so, give those tense spaces a new memory. How do you do that? Instead of going, oh, and kind of engaging in that pain, go over your gratitude list. What reasons, like honestly, do you feel that you are grateful for? Who are you grateful for? What are you grateful for? Practicing gratitude when you get into those difficult spaces. It can be a challenge, but give those areas, that tissue, a new memory. So that next time they're stimulated, moved, rolled on, touched, you might remember your gratitude list instead of whatever trauma or tension deposited. Believe in your capability to shift. It is possible. Just have patience. Move it lower down if you haven't yet. So it's not so much doorknob, it's more in between the spine and the shoulder blade. Reach your arm up over your head. Inhale. Exhale, lower it down to the hip. Inhale, up and over. And exhale down. Ooh. Reach it up towards the ceiling. Breathe in, and now across the center line of the body. The arm might stay straight, or you might bend your elbow. Oh. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Thank you for this exhale. Thank you for this opportunity to open and release tension. Thank you to my true friends and family, to my pets, to my plants. Thank you even to those people or situations that challenge us, because this is our chance to evolve to higher consciousness and a greater version of ourselves. Take the last minute to move that tool now anywhere in that shoulder, upper back space that you feel you need. Just do so with breath and gratitude practice. And then just as important as all of this work is also finding that time to not stimulate the body and surrender. So over the next few breaths, remove your tool. You can always come back to it, but for now, allow the body to rest without all that stimulation of massage. Maybe you're lying out in a star shape on your back, your belly, or on your side. Maybe you prefer to sit in meditation as you please. Taking deep breath in the longest exhale of your whole day. And whatever your practice was or was not today, we move forwards, moving into this now moment. Soften a little more and more of your body, all the way from your nose to your toes. Let your breath flow naturally now, no control. Meditation won't be the absence of thought or sensation. It's more about making the choice not to engage any further with that randomness that knocks on the door. You're aware, okay, but don't engage. Just observe. Notice the pauses in your breath at the top and bottom. And allow peace to bloom from the inside out. May you, in this now moment, know that you are loved and that you deserve happiness, peace, and health. I wish this for you. So mote it be, let it be true. From my heart to yours, namaste. Please rest as long as you need today. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to hang out after class and ask. And I'm here to individually help you always.